Hello everyone, and thank you very much for having me here, and thank you very much for having the chance to speak in front of such a great auditory and such a great jury. My name is Keil, and I'm here today on behalf of Remme. Remme stands for Remember Me, Remme. Let me use a real-life example and bringing you a little bit closer what Remme is actually doing and what we are all about. Maybe I interrupt you. What's your name, sir? Mike, nice to have you here. We all in the auditory can agree, we know Mike, we see him, we clearly can identify Mike as the one he is. A little bit later I will explain, but identity is already and also directly interlinked to access, right? In this closed group, there might be less problem with clarifying your identity and also clarifying, are you allowed to open the door over there or not? Let me make a jump to the distance. So we are communicating now with Mike in a far distance manner, and the problem actually stays. First of all, we have to clarify the problem of identity. But let us imagine that identity is actually solved, or in a good way, we have workable solutions. Directly connected, I told you, access, right? Access, so what? Identity, so what? Access means the door you can open, or what you don't have access to, the things you are not allowed to open. Today, industries and users still believe that password is actually the solution to solve identity and also to solve access. Both things are very much interconnected with passwords. And we know about that 3 or 4 users are using the same password for all their services, and they are using creepy passwords like over there. We know about that cybercrime do cost $6 trillion in 2021. We know that 150 million is the average cost of a data breach. And we also know that 76% of those data breaches are because of weak protection. To say it with different words, 7 out of 10 data breaches are actually happening because of using very, very low passwords. So, this actually brings us to the next fact. An example, you maybe remember, Equifax was recently hacked, and 143 million people got open to the public with all their user credentials and with all their information. But I don't want to buzz too much about the areas, and it's also clear that we understand the existing problems, whether it's the centralized server, it is the weak protection, or it is the human factor itself. Talking about password also directly implies that we have the common hack attacks like phishing, brute forcing, and so on. So, wouldn't it be nice to have a solution which is actually remembering you, Mike, remembering me, but more importantly, remembering the evolution of our access entitlement over the time. And here it comes where I would like to explain you on the surface a little bit about the technical behind of Remme. We have a white paper, it is published. If you want to know details, please read it. Please come later to our demo booth. Here I would just like to tell you that we are using 2 technologies, 2 main technologies. The one is SSL with X509 standard, and the second one is the blockchain. We are using the SSL, we are dismantling it completely, cutting it into parts, and we just keep SSL as a container. And the information, whether a certificate was revoked or still valid, we're actually writing to the blockchain. After getting the basics done, getting the standard, getting the infrastructure, I promised you, we're getting rid of passwords and pins, and so it comes. SSL certificates can be used to guarantee your access. This proved by the blockchain, we on top imply a second factor, which also gets rid of passwords and pins. We're sending you a message. Is it you who is accessing mybanking.com? And you just accept with yes or no, and the magic will happen. To make that happen, we introduced the Remme token, Rem, remember me. The token is clearly an utility. We are using it for creating the certificate, and we are also using it for allowing nodes to participate in our decentralized network. Tokens work as a kind of, time is over, tokens are working as proof of stake, responsible then for initializing the certificate generation process, which is actually happening on the device and is never touching the cloud, and also, of course, verification, revoking of the certificate is made by the node. We have some competitors, almost competitors. Out here you pay a high price for the one-click possibility of logging in, and most probably not applicable for most of the businesses, private or public, civic or U-port. They are clearly concentrated on identification. And here we get big players in the market like Amazon and Microsoft with Ident 2020. We have a problem. So I said we have a working MVP. It is now running in 5 pilots in a real-time environment, real-life tests. We have 4,500 community members, and we recently won Microsoft Intensive and an Ernst & Young prize. We have certain partners and clients you can see down there, and most importantly, we are documenting our processes and we are documenting our results, and we will get audited. We won one of the top 4 accounting companies that will make sure that what we say is what we do. We have clearly a strong team, because we understand you can have a great idea, but if you don't have the world's best team, your idea is senseless. Our team exists of directly involved people working with us and advisors helping us to get forward. Last but not least, I'm here to pitch our ICO. We are going to collect 5 to 20 million. Obviously, we have an MVP. We want to get it ready for the product, and we want to market it. We have a clear understanding of our token distribution, and finally also an understanding of how to allocate the rise. Thank you very much for listening to me. I would be pleased to answer to your questions.
So you have just 1 minute left. If we have any questions, we can have one. Yeah?
Maybe I missed it, but
yes.
Did you tell what the pre-sale and pre-sale prices are?
No, I did not.
Okay.
We don't have a pre-pre. We are collecting one time, we are starting one time, and we are running it through the time.
You're saying there's no pre-sale?
There will be a pre-sale, not a pre-ICO, but a pre-sale.
Great. Thank you so much.
The difference between pre-sale and pre-ICO, if you do a pre-ICO, you already have to roll out tokens, while when you do a pre-sale, you just collect the money and do the token sale later when you finally do the open ICO. Pardon me? The terms on the pre-sale is that we give a certain discount for certain investors, which means everyone higher than $1 million willing to invest into us is welcome to receive a bonus. Beside this, maybe I could add, we are also trying to go to America, and we will not let them out. We will run Reg D fundraising here, which we will run through an auction. So every American has the possibility to make his suggestion of how much they want to invest. We select the 35 most valuable investors, and we'll run with them a normal Reg D.
That's not all Americans. That would only be accredited Americans, right?
Yes, of course. And we just
more than enough. And it's the 7 million with money.
And we will just let 35 in. Thank you very much.